Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to some indie yuri visual novel fun. Although it's not like, it's not like Studio Ilan is like the smallest studio, but still counts as indie, I guess. Well, let's see what's up. Should be like pretty high quality stuff too. Hello.
New beginnings are exciting, aren't they?
I don't think I have autosaves, but no, should be fine. Yep. Fog settled over the forest far from the villages and towns, and with it came silence. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the demo because, well, I'm cheap. Maybe I'll be able to afford the full version at some point, but no idea. Also, like, let's see options. Probably fine. Birds trees were pondering the weather and dropped their leaves in fright. Streams bubbled, unseen by man, and babbled like the birds in the trees. Well, I guess this part isn't voiced, but oh well. Oh, I wonder, like, if it's different in the Steam build and the itch build, because this is the itch build, you know, because somehow I couldn't get Steam to start, so I had to download this one. I'd expect though that it should be the same. Anyway, in the middle of the forest was a grove, and in the middle of that grove was a log. It had been years since it had fallen, once one of the proudest trees around, and now in it was home to an abundance of life. A line of frantic ants ran to and fro. Mushrooms, cloud-like and pillowy, sprouted across one side like a footpath for fairies. Nearby, an old toad flopped contentedly in the mud, and inside the deep, damp hollow of the trees, something slept. Pretty moody. Yeah, I guess it's fair enough. Oh.
Self-voicing enabled. The traveler strolled into the grove. Their steps were slow and tired, and they spotted the log with relief, like greeting a
Well.
friend. Weary from the day's journey, the traveler sat to take a rest. Whoosh. With a scrabbling of nails on rotten wood, a shadow bolted from inside the log to the tall grass nearby. The traveler watched the brush rustle as a faint patch of fur appeared within.
Yeah, well, it is some robot overlord voice, but I guess it works. I don't know though, like maybe I should read it because, well, I'm here anyway.
Self-voicing disabled.
Maybe I'll just read it. Hello there, friend. I didn't mean to disturb you. They held their hands towards the grass, offering a piece of dried fish. At first, there was no reaction, and then, first, a snout appeared, quivering as it tested the air. Then followed the rest of the fox, sleek and tawny. As she took several slow steps forward, her amber eyes were alight with mistrust, but also with wild curiosity. I should probably drink a little bit because my tongue is getting a little bit too twisty for some reason. That could be because, well, being a little bit too close for comfort, having to download its version all of a sudden, so a bit nervous. The strangers had unfazed, their offering still outstretched. They dared to meet the fox's eyes, and in that glance felt something kindred. As the fox closed her jaws around the gift, a bond was made. Maybe we aren't so different, you and I. The traveler returned the next day, and the day after that. Each day they brought some thread for their new friend. Each day the fox's steps grew a little more trusting. One day, when the traveler arrived, the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently.
Hello, my friend. Have you been waiting long?
Not too long, I guess. Just getting started. The fox peered up at the traveler. Her amber eyes were warm and trusting. She accepted her gift of meat, gnawing it at the traveler's feet, then and there. The traveler sat, imprinting into their middle in their mind the feeling of the wood beneath them, the clear air around them, and the tender bond of companionship.
Where is your home, little fox? Is it here in this grove? Or do you come to see me too?
Actually, let me see if I can make the voice louder. I guess I could also, like, if I decrease these and then make it louder in OBS, it might be more audible, which would be really nice.
Self-voicing enabled. Where is your home, little fox? Is it here in this grove? Self-voicing disabled.
Yeah, maybe a bit too loud. Then again, I guess I can just tone it down a little bit in OBS. Okay, let's see.
This will be the last time, I'm afraid. Because I'll be going home tomorrow.
Well, I guess it's good enough.
Home is such a small place compared to the rest of the world. Yet, it's some place I can't wait to return to. I wish I could bring you with me, little friend. I wish that you could see the world too. Your home is all around me though, isn't it? It's wherever the trees are, wherever the leaves fall.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to take a fox to the, well, whatever place the person is living in.
Little fox, perhaps it's you who's the more fortunate of the two of us.
All too soon, it was time for the traveler to go. As they bade goodbye to the forest and to the fox, they knew that they would not return, but that they would carry the memories with them always. Yeah, well, I don't know though. Well, I guess it could be something like that. The next day, the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently.
We've now docked at Wellington Skyport. Thank you for flying with Kiwi Airlines and we hope to see you again.
Oh yeah, well, probably New Zealand. The intercom's announcement is muffled in the closet, where I'm hiding, just like the clatter of the seat belts and the chattering of passengers getting ready to disembark. I wiggle around impatiently, sore from crouching in here for I don't even know how long it's been, hours for sure. The last few minutes always feel like they take the longest. Okay, so I guess like this is some kind of like habit of like, I don't know, flying without a ticket or something. A parade of footsteps begins to pass by outside my door. It's time. I listen carefully, waiting for a gap in the crowd. When it moves, I stand up and push the door open in a single movement. I give a wink to the shocked-looking lady that I stepped out in front of. She doesn't even have time to gasp before I'm out of her sight. Humans, they are always kind of slow. I nod at the smiling flight attendant as I pass her by, and then throw up my hood to cover my face. It's been a while since I last flew, but it doesn't seem like things have changed much. It's always been harder to sneak on than it is to sneak off. So I guess it is kind of a habit then. I follow the crowd to the end of the walkway and step out onto the ground. After a long stretch, I take a deep breath and savor the fresh air after being stowed away for so long. Wellington Skyport, New Zealand. Yep, well that is Kiwis I guess.
I made it!
My breathless voice joins the pleasant hum of the skyport. A lot of like full screen CGs at least. A few clouds drift lazily overhead, almost within arm's reach. The sound of the waves rolling onto the shore is like a lullaby. It makes me want to burrow into the sand and take a nap. But I can't. First, I need to get out of here, and there's one more challenge ahead. Up ahead, the sneaking line of passengers splits us. People are funneled into a few security stations, while I'm too far back to reach what the guards are saying to hear. It looks like they are examining a little booklet from each traveler before letting them pass. Humans sure like processes and procedures. Oh, that's passports, I guess. I wonder like what they do if you don't have a passport and like if you sneaked into the plane anyway. Will they somehow send you back? Yep. Art is really good. Kind of actually wish that like the narration was voiced and don't know like if it matters that much for the characters. Would be like less reading then, but well, I guess I'm here so I can read them anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. I definitely don't have a booklet like that. Glancing around, I hope to find another way out. An open window would work, or even an unguarded exit. I'm pretty sneaky when I need to be. Unfortunately, it looks like the only way to leave is to go through security without any other options. I join one of the lines and prepare myself. I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Yeah, probably wouldn't be like a whole lot of security if you could just easily bypass it. No, well, like if like this character is like a fox, couldn't she just like transform into a fox and then sneak? Like surely they don't expect like animals to have passports. Though I don't know if it works like that. The line moves briskly as passengers are cleared one after the other. I'm almost at the front of the queue before I know it. As the passengers in front of me approaches the booth, I listen closely.
Good afternoon. Passport, please.
Right here. It's good to be home.
I'm sure. Welcome back.
He stamps something in the man's booklet and then hands it back to him. He continues on out of the skyport.
Next.
That's me. I don't know what they do to people without any papers, but I don't wanna find out. I'm sure it involves lots of questions, being escorted around, and other unpleasant stuff. Well, more or less something like that, I guess. Casually approaching the gate, I put on my brightest, friendliest smile while keeping a slight distance. With my breathing steady and tail calm, I'm sure I put on a convincing act.
Passport, please.
Of course.
I fumble around in my pockets pretending to look for my passport. Instead, I grab the useless, clunky phone that I have been carrying around. I let it clatter to the ground at the guard's feet. As expected, he bends down to retrieve it for me,
Oh, let me get that for you.
and I make a run for it, bolting ahead and rushing past the security booths as quickly as I can. Well, it didn't take long until this game like devolved to crimes, I guess. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like they arrest you and then try to figure out like who you even are. And well, no idea what they do if they can't figure it out. Kind of like, well maybe they expect like you're just like some illegal immigrant, and then we'll try to deport you to somewhere, but they probably won't know where. So no idea.
Hey, you wait.
Stop there, criminal scum. You have violated the law. Yeah, I wonder like why all this is happening. Like, based on the intro you would think that, well, she is the fox and like maybe she's looking for the person who was giving her meat, something like that. Well, it could be something else too, like maybe it's like some kind of parallel that isn't like exactly what is going on, but who knows. I'm sure we'll see. Maybe not in the demo, but well, at some point. By the time they realized what's happening, I already have a few seconds head start. My inhuman speed, combined with the natural chaos of the skyport, should also buy me a bit of time. Oh, I guess. Oh, makes sense. Like would be like pretty tricky narrative if it were like something else. Still, how gotta get them off my tail? Oh, I guess half literally because he has a tail. Oh, I see, it's a map. Like in some like older like time management kind of visual novels. Though not sure like if there is something like that in this. Yep. Well, better go somewhere. Dashing through the skyport doors and out into the road outside, I don't even have time to take in the city. Without stopping for breath, I run into the narrow streets while weaving between cars and shocked bystanders. Being seen by so many people like this is annoying, but it won't matter by tomorrow. Putting the thought out of my mind, I vault over a low wall into a nearby alley and land in a crutch. Out of sight, but for only a moment, I close my eyes and relax my muscles. All feeling disappears except a slight warmth against my neck. My secret weapon. The unremarkable looking necklace in my only possessions, and by far the most important, the oddly heavy beads strung around my neck, beginning to heat up in response to my will, the soothing warmth flowing through my body. My hands and feet begin to move first, the fur chasing up my arms and legs as they distort and shorten. The sensation was so bizarre the first few times I tried. It's amazing how it's becoming second nature by now. Okay, so I guess she can morph then. Wouldn't that have been like an easier way to get out to begin with? Closing my eyes, I let my body and head shift in turn. The face is always a little uncomfortable for my once human shifting and lengthening into a snout with some difficulty. The process completed. After barely a few seconds, I opened my eyes not as a human but as a fox. Pretty like different fox than the foxes in Finland though. Like here they are all like really orangey kind of color. I dart away without a second thought, far quicker on 4 legs than I ever could be on 2. Obstacles like the stack of garbage cans ahead would be a pain to get past as a human, but instead I'm able to flit between the gaps without slowing down.
That's her! I know it!
I don't know though. Sounds like the security guard hasn't given up on me yet. I pick up the pace, running as fast as my paws will take me. I'm pretty sure that your average security guard wouldn't be like, that's her when you see a fox. Like not the Like, you know, you don't expect that people just casually like change shape. His heavy breathing gets farther and farther away, and in just a minute or two, I know I'm safe. I like how far like will the guards chase you until they give up? Like surely they would just call the police or something. I don't know where I am, but it's not like I knew where I was when I started running. I almost feel bad for the guy who was chasing me. He never stood a chance. Even in the crowded city streets, there's no way anyone or anything can outrun me. The wind just wishes it could keep up with me. Comfortable that the danger passed, I slip into another alley. Once I'm sure that I'm alone, I close my eyes and concentrate on the form I want to take once more. The familiar flowing warmth runs through me again, my body stretching and deforming at my command. A few seconds later, and I open my eyes to glance at my human hands.
Better luck next time.
Brushing the dust off my jacket hands, I nonchalantly stroll out of the alleyway and back into the street. The odd person walks by on this errand or another, not paying any attention to me, just the way I like it. No, that's your average city, I guess.
Left, right, past turn, left.
Mapping out my path in my head, I look for a way to the main roads. It will be easy to get my bearings there. I pick turns at random, without any real destination in mind. But yeah, animals actually have like phenomenally good like sense of like mapping their surroundings. Like way better than humans. Or like some animals can actually like navigate based on like stars or stuff like that, or the moon or something else. When I decided to make the journey to Wellington, it was pretty impulsive. I'd overheard another pair of travelers talking about it and how beautiful a city it is. Yeah, well, that is pretty impulsive. Like, if she's looking for the traveler, like, well, the chances of finding somebody are pretty small if you don't actually hear like rumors somehow fit the person at least. Or maybe not like the worst kind of life to like travel for free around the world. With a moment now to take in the scenery, I can see they weren't wrong. The streets around here seem like a mix of homes and businesses. Everything is very colorful, even the brick walls are covered in pictures and paint. In the distance, I can see green hills that are lined with houses, as well as green hills that are completely empty. There are a lot of hills. Now that I look around some, Yeah, that's always nice when you can do that. Gives like that extra bit of like authenticity, however it's pronounced. From just a few streets away, the sound of pedestrians and busy intersections floats my way. I head in its direction, taking shortcuts through the yards and driveways when it's convenient. In one lawn, a big dog growls at me as I walk past, but when I transform and crawl right back, he tucks his tail and runs away. Maybe not like super necessary, but okay. After squeezing through one last narrow side street, I finally emerge onto what looks like a main road. There's no cars here, but tons of people on foot. There are brightly colored signs and decorations on most of the buildings. In the middle of the street, there are fountains and benches and trees and all kinds of stuff. The best part is that variety of stores. When I stroll past a few of the windows and peek in, I can already tell that I'll be able to do most of my shopping around here. Well, shopping probably means like just stealing the stuff. There are stores with food, with clothes, and with just about everything else. I don't have any money on me, but that isn't exactly a problem. Well, yep, there we go. What is a problem is that it's too crowded. Dodging a couple of security guards is one thing, but trying to escape down a busy street with lots of people could be too much even for me. I'll just have to remember where this place is and make another visit later, after all the shops have closed. Yep, this is starting to remind me of playing Oblivion. I hope she has a lot of lockpicks. Then a man in bright coat hurries past me, talking loudly in his phone in a language I don't recognize. He's so distracted that he doesn't even notice when his wallet falls out of his pocket onto the sidewalk. Well, that is pretty convenient, I guess. I know this, of course. Seeing an opportunity, I chip over and snatch it up, prying open the black leather pockets I find.
Score.
A couple of bills in what I figure is the local currency. I slide the money out and into a pocket of my jacket. By now the man is so far ahead that he's almost out of sight. I had to hurry to catch up to him to give him back his wallet, and he barely even says thank you. Or at least like she gave the wallet back. It's not like money is like the pain if you lose the wallet, but like all the cards and whatever IDs in the wallet, like getting them all back is probably a huge pain.
I should have just kept the whole thing.
Well, probably not like too useful. It's only fair that I get a little something for myself, since it's not like he would have ever gotten it back without me. I would have returned the money too, though. Well, 15 Monopoly money. No idea what the currency is in New Zealand. I would expect that it's probably the dollar, but could be something else actually too. Because well, it's not like it is like really related to US, more like related to the United Kingdom. But not exactly, I guess. Oh well, it is some money. I head back to my bench, inspect my prize. A blue pillar and a brown one. These feel sturdy. Nothing like the paper I expected. Well, let's hope it's Monopoly money then.
1, 0, 10, and 5. So 15.
Yup. 15 isn't much. I definitely should have kept the whole wallet. Yeah, but you can't read too much with the cards or anything because you need pin codes or whatever. Yeah, I hope not. Oh well, at least this should be enough to buy myself something to drink. My thirst is starting to get the better of me, as I haven't had anything since I snuck onto the airship. Like if there are like public toilets or something, you can kind of drink for free, but the hygiene might not be the best, but in Finland it is generally good enough. Although if you have money, just buy something. Oh, I do actually know, because once I took the train somewhere, I had forgotten my wallet, so luckily I had the ticket back for the same day, but it was one day like completely without being able to buy any food or anything to drink. Following my nose, I walk down the busy street until I find one of the many cafes lining the path. The sign hanging above its front door has a picture of a bell on it. Well, yep. A charming little chime rings out from above the door as I enter. I can't help but savor the wave of refreshing cool air washing over me, which is all the better after so much running. I don't know, like, if you only have like 15 money of some kind, like a cafe might be like pretty pretty expensive. Could just buy like something from the grocery store instead. Me being all picky because I have this cheap vampire experience.
Hiya! Welcome to the Bell House.
Oh, you need Bell House then, I guess. The barista behind the counter is the only other person in the store right now. As I nod in greeting, and she leans forward with a cup in one hand and a pen in her other.
What can I get you? We're having a special on affogatos if you want to try one.
No idea what that is.
Usually, they're like $7, but today, they're only 5.
Well, that's 1/3 of the money gone if you buy it.
I'd like a...
Well, just water. I'm not sure what an avocado is. Isn't that a vegetable? not wanting to commit to the strange sounding drink, I looked at the menu instead. Oh, interesting. I actually think that the Steam version didn't have like a Linux version, so in that sense, like getting it from the its is a bit better. Although you could play it with the Proton thing, it would still be like still nicer to get like a native version. But yeah, I wonder like how far the fox thing goes. Like, can she only eat meat then? Because foxes sure can't eat like any vegetables at all. Maybe like a little bit, but it's not really doing anything to them. At least I'd imagined. Like dogs are probably different. I'm pretty sure foxes only eat meat. Unfortunately, it's full of handwritten, spinkly letters. I can't read a single word, and there are no helpful pictures. Safe option it is. Well, water.
I'll just have a vanilla latte. Ugh, boring. But okay. Name?
Is it really that boring? And like that? Maybe not the best customer service attitude.
Mio.
It's my first time testing out how that name sounds, and I decided that I like it. I decided on the airship that was the name I would use here in Wellington. I've used so many names throughout my life that I can't remember most of them. For each new city that I visit, I come up with something new. Foxes don't have any use for names, so nobody ever gave me one. Well, yeah, that's how foxes work. She scribbles something on the cup with a black marker. If that's how this name looks, then I'm even more pleased with it. Not like exactly sure what is the point. Like over here you would just get a cup.
$4.50, please.
I hand her the brown bill. She gives me back a big coin with a picture of a boat on it.
Alright. I'll have this ready for you in no time.
I have no idea like how much the money is worth, but it sounds like well, one Monopoly money is worth less than $1. But kind of hard to tell. I'd imagine that though that a coffee wouldn't cost like $5. She sure seems enthusiastic. I notice she spins around and starts working. Looking about somewhere to sit, I decide on a seat by the window with the sun pouring in. Near the entrance of the cafe, there's a wire rack with a stack of maps and tourist pamphlets, so I grab one of the maps before taking my seat. This cafe is big and bright, with plants everywhere. They are on the walls, on the floor, and on the ceiling. Most of them are real and vibrant, obviously being well cared for. I hope the cafe is doing like well financially, like if it's big but there is nobody else. Doesn't sound like the best kind of thing, but maybe it's just a quiet time. Even the lights that hang down from the ceiling have grass ornaments with little shrubs in them. Glass ornaments. Seems like I made a good choice coming here. Any place with a bit of nature in it is more comfortable to me than places without.
I guess I should find a place to stay.
Well, you're a fox, you could just transform into a fox and sleep in a cave, right? Looking down to the map I traced the path I made from the port to this cafe. It's useful, but it doesn't really tell me anything helpful about the houses in particular. I'll need to find a higher vantage point. I move my finger along the hills I noticed from outside, following the little brown path to a patch of green with a little mountain icon. That should work for now. But he definitely is like better at reading maps than me. Like even with the phone I always tend to kind of walk the wrong direction and then I need to go back or try to somehow correct the mistake. I don't know, somehow. Well, I guess it doesn't help that the phone kind of doesn't point to the right direction with the compass thingy, but oh well.
Miho!
My ears perk up right as the barista arrives and places my drink in front of me.
Thanks!
I reach over and take the one cup in my hands, but the barista doesn't let go.
You ready for the rain tomorrow?
Brain.
Huh? It's gonna rain tomorrow.
No, that's not a big deal. I glance behind me out the window. It's as sunny as and blue a day as I have ever seen. Well, yeah, over here too, like it can change pretty rapidly.
How do you know that? There aren't any clouds out there.
Well, weather forecast most likely.
I'm just good with the weather. Anyway, if you forget, then you'll be sorry.
Well, like, I don't think you're just good with the weather. You just look at the weather forecast. She finally lets go of my drink and heads back behind the counter. People are weird. Does the barista pull that on everyone? Yeah, like maybe like the barista is like tomorrow I will put like a bucket like on top of the door and people who walk in or out will experience the rain. Like maybe it's like that kind of a warning. No, probably not. Standing on the doorstep, I have my first sip.
Oh, this is really good.
It's pretty plain, but well made. The coffee isn't too bitter, which is perfect for me. I don't know, like do foxes drink coffee? With a moment to myself, my thoughts turn inwards as I sip the warm drink. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's the best to be like funny in a different way. Like I'm so like nobody will find it funny if you do the childish water bucket trick. Although I have like never seen anybody do it in real life. Luckily, would be like I would be really annoyed if somebody did it to me. Weird. Oh well, I guess maybe foxes couldn't drink coffee if dogs can. Like they are. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like like why not, like coffee still contains water. Maybe like a fox would be like, oh, this is a bit dirty water, but can't be helped. No idea why a dog would like coffee, but oh well. Unless like it's like addiction, because you can get addicted to caffeine. My first travels were in search of someone, but despite my whole life being spent trying, I haven't made any progress in finding them. I have taken to simply wandering, going wherever I wish at the time. But yeah, probably pretty difficult to find the person. Oh, I see. Well, I guess it is convenient, but it would be actually interesting if they had made the human form like have some kind of foxy peculiarities too. Well, I guess it would be a bit like, well, might be inconvenient for the story, but who knows? Or it might be just like a pointless distraction, but I would kind of like it. I'd been itching for a change of scenery anyway, so I boarded, well, snuck onto the first airship that I could. The best part about owning nothing but the clothes on my back is that I can pick up and leave whenever I feel like it. Well, that is one way to look at it positively. Like in reality, it probably isn't like such a great thing, but oh well. I take a moment to get my bearings. I look around. I see a tired-looking person shuffling along the far footpath with a briefcase in their hand. They stop outside one of the buildings, take a deep breath, and pat their face a couple times, and then go inside. Yeah, like at this point, I'm kind of getting like I don't know, like a lot of GTA kind of ideas, like the fox girl doesn't have money, so like would it be like a good idea to dash at the person and steal the briefcase or stuff like that? But yeah, maybe this isn't that kind of a game. They must not be looking forward to whatever's going to happen in there. Maybe they have to fight someone. I don't know. Though the large glass windows of another store, a phone is trying on a pair of shoes, but they don't seem to fit her hooves. The people waiting with her look annoyed. I wonder if she fusses around with her footwear a lot. For a while, I simply let the day roll by and watch the various figures who stroll by. People watching is fun, especially in such a busy city. Hmm, oh, I guess it can be fun. I don't know though. might be, might get a bit boring after a while. Eventually, I go to sip my coffee, only to find nothing coming out. With no more reason to stick around, it's time to go. On the sunlit street, I look about the maps, what I can see with the map's directions. There's a tall green mountain in the distance ahead of me, which must be the one on the map. It will be the perfect vantage point for the city. Ideally, I'll find an empty building I can crash in, but it's not necessary. A roof over my head would be nice, but I'm plenty used to sleeping outside under the stars. Sometimes it's better than sleeping in a bed. No, I guess yeah. Yeah, well, because she is a fox, I guess. Yeah, sleeping in a cave or something would be just fine. Encouraged by the plan forming in my head, I set off on the long walk to the summit. Okay, well, it's another question mark place. I got to say though that the game has far less like voiceover than I expected, but I guess it's fine. The path to the mountains turns out to be less simple than the map made it look. First the trail takes me along the waterfront and then it turns upward through a small forested area. Being among the trees and their tall shadows makes me feel at home. When the path leaves the woods again, I'm a little disappointed. It leads up a paved road, so I stick to the edge to avoid passing cars. Sometimes I take shortcuts through yards or up unmarked paths. There are quite a few nice looking homes right along the roadside. I make a mental note to go check them out when I'm low on money or food. Not much further along, a concrete lookout offers another glimpse of the city below. A couple of airships are coming into dock at the skyport, probably from one of the other floating islands. There's still a ways to go to the top of the mountain, but luckily the walk has been easy so far. I wouldn't even consider it a hike. Eventually I reach the final stretch of roads. I can see where it curves ahead to the summit, and I hurry to the end. A metal railing spreads out like a crown on top of the mountain. As I go to toss my empty cup away, a pair of chatting tourists passes me by.
How far is it from here?
Oh, about an hour from the base of Mount Victoria, so a bit further from here.
Mount Victoria.
I'm glad to know what this place is called. I say the name out loud to help commit it to memory. Standing at the edge, I'm treated to a wonderful view of Wellington. The city forms a crescent moon shape around the bay, which glitters like a sapphire from up here. The sun is starting to set, and that makes the water even more shimmery. Even more airships can be seen coming and going. I think that I can even see edge of the floating island we are on, miles out in the open sky. I survey the city using the skyboard as a reference point. From up here, what felt like such a long chase really doesn't look far at all. If I strain my eyes, I think I can't even see the coffee shop from earlier. What was it the barista said it was called? The Bell House. It's kind of tough to make out details. My hearing and sense of smell may be great, but my eyes aren't that much better than humans. Then I noticed something useful.
Look! Is that our house?
Probably. What can you see from here?
I see Dad's car!
Not too far away, there's a little kid who's using a pair of metal tubes attached to a post. His mom is helping him aim it at the city. It must be something that improves your vision. Well, yeah. I think it's binoculars or something like that. The moment the kid and his mom leave, hurry over before someone else can get to them first. When I press my eyes to the same spot that the child did, though all I can see is black. Oh yep, because you need money. That's how they usually work. I try moving it around, but it doesn't change. Is this thing busted? Some text is printed on the side. I have no idea what it says. There's a small slot, though, and a picture of a coin next to it. Lucky for me, it's a coin that has 50 on it. I put the coin that I received from the barista into the slot and spin a lever. The machine eats my coin, and then when I put my eyes to it again.
Yes!
The other game has a lot of graphics. I like neat graphics. Everything looks much closer now. Even the trees on the other side of the hill appear as crystal clear detail, like I'm standing right next to them. I aim the viewing glasses at the city and look around, trying to find a good place to rest for the night. Houses are no-go. Even if they look empty or abandoned, you can never let your guard down for a minute. Or like you could maybe like sleep in one of the boat thingies. I imagine that they would be pretty like, well, unused during the night. There might be a bit of a pain to get there because you would probably have to swim there. Same with most shops. I don't have enough money for a hotel, and I don't risk sneaking into one of those either. As I'm studying the sites, trying to memorize as much as I can, there's a click sound and once again the view goes black. Stupid machine. I smack it a couple of times and check again, but I still can't see anything. Oh, it's not like no TV or anything.
Well, whatever.
While the image is fresh in my mind, I sit down at the nearby bench and pull out a pencil and some crumpled papers from my pocket. I always carry a few with me. I sort through them until I find one that's still blank. Using my knee as a table, I sketch out the view before me, the trees, the curve of the bay, the buildings far below. You never know what information will be useful later. Add more detail to my drawing of the bigger, more important buildings. Others are just represented with simple, rough squares. The view is pretty. That's for sure. It didn't really help much though. Once I'm confident, I've jotted down everything I need to. I carefully fold the paper and put it back in my pocket. Yeah, one kind of complaint I have about the text is like, this word being here. Like it makes reading the text aloud a bit clunky, at least for me, because I'm not like super used to it. Well, probably not like a big deal if you're not reading it aloud.
Looks like I'm sleeping outside tonight. Guess this place is as good as any.
Well, look out for the rain though. I head back down the trail a little bit and veer off of it into the underbrush. Well, still question marks.
Not perfect, but it'll do.
Don't sleep on the road at least. I like center isn't the problem, but the problem is kind of like, well, where the line break goes. But yeah, it's probably like a real pain to adjust, and if the game has like translations or something at some point, well, it will be trouble again. So, well, it's not exactly the wilderness, but just about everything around here seems city feed to some extent. Usually when I make den, I prefer to find a place far from other people, a place where nobody will find me. Adapt, I'll find anything perfect, but this is good enough. Now it's in the middle of the road though.
It's fine. Can't afford to be picky.
Once the trail I was on its other side, I transform again. My neck gets warm as my beats activate, and a few seconds later, I'm on all fours. Being like on all fours kind of sounds like I'm drunk or something like that. And I wonder like what's the deal with the beats, like how has she gotten them? Because they seem pretty important. Maybe maybe there will be an explanation at some point. As a fox, the sensation of nature are much stronger. The earth beneath my paws is cool and refreshing, and the breeze sweeps through my fur like a message. I hurry down a hill covered in grass, so tall that it reaches way over my head. I can smell fresh water and follow the scent to a small stream where I'm able to parch my thirst. It's just as satisfying as the drink I got at the cafe, but in a different way. And being able to slurp up water is way more enjoyable than having to use a straw, or worse, one of those lids with the tiny holes. Well, I guess she doesn't really need the money. But also in New Zealand, there originally weren't any predators on the island. So pretty much all the animals living there natively are completely helpless. She could just find a bird of some kind because they can't fly and just eat those, I guess. I don't remember the names of the bird, but you can think of something like a dodo, as helpless. I wonder if one of the birds was something like caca or something. Oh well, I don't remember. For a little while, I follow my nose to some berries and some edible plants that I'll do for a snack. Unfortunately, unlike the water, foraging is never as satisfying as eating human food. If I want a real meal tonight, then I should pick up the pace before it gets too late. Still, I want to get this done now, while there's still daylight. I keep close to the stream and search for a place where the ground is soft. Before too long, I find a promising area. A small valley with hills on most sides and thick foliage on the others. I'm still close enough to civilization to hear cars and other city noise, but the area I'm in doesn't seem like it gets visited very often. At the very least, it doesn't really smell like people. The spot that I settle on is a nice mound of earth near the edge of the woods, partially hidden by a tall tree with low-hanging leaves. Even if no one comes by, it makes me feel better knowing that I'll be out of sight. And so I start to dig. My claws rip away the dirt as I burrow downwards, widening the tunnel just enough for my stick frame to fit. Also, she is making a tunnel and sleeping there, so well, pretty fox-like, I guess. First I dig forward and then downward, widening out an area that's big enough for my whole body to fit. This is something I've been doing my whole life, even back when I was a regular fox. I think that's why I don't mind it too much compared to sleeping inside somewhere. It just feels right to me. Okay, so I guess something must have happened that has changed her. It takes a little while, and by the time I'm finally finished, the first few stars have started to peek out from the sky. I shake myself clean of the dirt that sticks to my coat and then transform back into my human form. I don't know. Hopefully she sleeps in the fox form, but oh well.
Spread this here, a couple of branches here, some leaves there.
I walk around the valley a bit, checking from different angles.
Not bad for just an afternoon's work.
If you went looking for it, I don't think you'd ever notice anything out of place. All that thinking has made me work up an appetite, and not the kind that will be satisfied with just a few berries. Uh-oh. Well, look out, birds. The predator is coming.
Ugh, I'm so hungry. I haven't had a real meal since yesterday.
My stomach rumbles painfully. I've been so busy since arriving here in Wellington that I kind of forgot just how hungry I was. Yeah, would have been better use the money on food. Like you could buy well, probably a couple of tofu cubes with that price. That would have been better investment than just drink water. Although well, she can't just eat the helpless animals. I'll grab some human food back in town. Casting one last glance at the afternoon's work, I set off toward the city.
Work never ends. Time to get some food!
Well, like the decorations. I'm a bit disappointed when I finally get back to the busy street from before. I was hoping that it would be emptier now and that all of the stores would be closed. Turns out I was half right. A lot of shops have gone dark for the evening, but there are just as many people walking around now as there were earlier. In fact, there might even be more. The patio of a restaurant has a bunch of tables full. A mermaid is sitting in the fountain I sat by earlier, chatting with the Cyclops. Even the cafe that I visited is crowded now, with a line almost out the door. After pacing up and down the road for a while, I sit down and try to figure out what to do next. I'm not too worried about what would happen if I got caught earlier. I just escaped, obviously, and even if they somehow managed to catch me, it wouldn't be an issue for very long. See, there's something different about me that makes me extra good at being a thief. It's not just the skills I have practiced over the years, like picking locks and sneaking around. Oh yep, it's definitely getting an Oblivion Thief Guild questline kind of things now. No, it's a bit more special than that. Without failing, every single person I meet forgets about me by the next day. Oh, I don't know why, but I don't really care either. It's magic. That's all I know about it. Really useful magic. Everywhere I go, no matter how careless I am, all of my problems are solved by the next day. Well, that That's interesting. I don't know, like this feels like way more important than the fact that the character is kind of a fox. That doesn't mean there's no danger. I've been caught in the act before and beaten or harassed before I can manage to get away. I've even lost a few prizes that I stole fair and square because I had to get going in a hurry. But if someone sees me but isn't able to stop me, I know that I'll be home free. Sure, they might remember having something stolen, but they'll never know who did it. It almost makes things too easy. Yeah, well, I guess. Kind of like you put the grey fox skull on and then steal stuff and then take it off. Right now, it would be smarter to just come back even later, in the dead of night, hope that there are no people around. I'd be able to take my time browsing without having to worry about making a quick escape. Where's the fun in that though? But you know, like the potential for like really abusing the ability that people will forget you is there. Like you could just go on a rampage or steal like everything and then you get away scot-free. Like, not sure how it works, if it works like it so that they forget at midnight then, or just yoink like everything like a little bit earlier, then run away and then it's all good. But yeah, it probably isn't that kind of a game. I walk casually up and down the street, glancing in the windows without being too obvious about it. Some stores still have customers inside, others have locked their doors and shut off the lights. Most of the restaurants are still open, but are only making me hungrier. Stealing from restaurants is a bit much, even for me though. I've tried it before, but the cluttered kitchens, as well as all the tables and chairs, make it hard to get around. Yeah, well, don't take this as life advice or anything, because you shouldn't do it, but I think she could kind of do it, like order like a huge meal and eat it all and then make a run for it, especially like if people forget her at midnight, like order something at 11 PM and eat it and make a run for it and just like run like around the corner. Well, that's not as convenient then. But running for 24 hours can still be kind of tricky. Because like, well, I guess there would still be like the possibility that somebody like photographs her or something, and then, well, they will know who did it. So it's a bit risky business, I guess. Plus, I've learned that the hard way that there are plenty of hot or sharp things for angry cooks to throw at you as you try to make your way out. That is pretty yikes. Like sure, like maybe it's a thief, but but like died trying to like use soft things on the teeth. Sounds like pretty extreme. Anyway, instead, packaged and pre-made foods are my best friends. Things that I can grab multiples of at once and stuff into my pockets. If I'm really lucky, I'll find a place with refrigerated sandwiches or salads, or sometimes perfectly good hot food that gets thrown out. Yeah, like maybe she could just like go to a grocery store and like, well, somehow lift stuff, but yeah, oh well. This game is kind of yikes because it's giving you like ideas and like how to get like food for free and stuff. I don't know, better just pay for it. You wouldn't believe the kinds of stuff that's available if you don't mind sifting through the trash a little bit. It's not perfect, of course, but a hot meal is a hot meal. I know plenty of foxes who have eaten much worse.
Target spotted.
Oh? It's perfect. A small convenience store, snacks lined up behind the front window. Even better, the stores on either side of it are closed too. But there's not many other people in the area.
Locked, huh? Not surprising.
I head down a nearby alley and find the back door, which is probably where they bring in new products. The alleyway is dark to begin with, and my dark clothes help me hide even better. I glance around the alley, glad like always for my excellent night vision. Yeah, this game is much more like, you know, stealthy and like small crimey than I expected. I was expecting that it would be like, well, just some chill tea or coffee drinking, but oh well, I guess not. Though maybe could be later, but I don't know. Yeah, I never like really research the games too much because it's more fun to figure it out while you play. But especially when it's just demos. When it comes to like actually paying, well, sadly I can't afford that many games, so I got to be pretty picky. Nobody's watching, nobody's even around. I pull my hood up over my ears and tuck my tail between my legs, leaning against the sturdy door. To anyone not looking closely, I'm sure I appear as nothing more than a shadow. I dig around in my pocket until I find my trusty lockpick, and then set to work on the door. It isn't a complicated lock at all, just a regular keyhole. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it makes sense because like so far like there have been like a couple of like descriptions about things that are like, well, probably something that you like an ordinary human would recognize, but she has described them in a weird way, like the mermaid and the cyclops. I'm not like sure what it exactly is, like he's just just the fountain or something else? Oh well. With a click, the latch springs open. Just a few short moments later. I'm pretty sure the Thieves Guild would want her. She's pretty good.
Bingo. Huh?
I try to tuck the door towards me, but there's a chain on the inside that keeps it from opening very wide. There's no way a human could fit through the gap, but it would be easy for a fox. First I slink away for a bit, idling on the nearby street like a regular pedestrian. I want to see if anyone shows up, just in case it triggers a silent security system. After about 10 minutes, I decide it's safe. I transform under the cover of darkness in the alley and slip into the building before transforming back. The shop isn't very big, and the receiving area is just a small hallway with a few boxes of soda and candy bars on the floor. I grab a couple of my favorites and shove them into my pockets. When I creep into the main area, I make sure to stay low to the ground, trying to avoid being seen from outside. I'm not exactly hidden, but as long as I don't stand up, I shouldn't attract anyone's attention. I move fast, cramming as much into my coat as I can. Cookies, protein bars, popcorn. I'm not very picky. When my coat starts to feel pretty heavy, I grab a plastic bag from behind the counter and transfer some of the loot into there. I also take a few bottles of water and sports drinks from the coolers. Yeah, this is pretty, crime, criminal kind of thing is. Oh well. Just as I'm about to leave, I spot a few of those coveted plastic wrapped sandwiches that I was thinking about earlier.
Jackpot.
I fill my bag with sandwiches until it's almost overflowing, and then I head back out the way I came in. In total, I was in and out in under 5 minutes, and I've got enough supplies to last me several days. Oh, perfect crime. Although the typical turn would be that she would get caught like immediately then. When I step in the alley, I glance around in both directions, making sure no one saw me emerge from the store. I don't see anyone, but my neck prickles as if someone is watching me. I sniff there, but don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Nothing that wasn't there before. Still. Suddenly there's a flap of wings, and a bat flutters past me from out of the shadows. It goes right over my head and disappears from sight up the street. Not sure like if there are bats in New Zealand. Like I don't know how they would have gotten there.
Oh, that's it?
I let out the breath I'd been holding and start making my way back towards the mountain where I made my den. I let the bag swing from my arm as I walk, whistling a song I heard earlier. I'm not able to keep a smile off my face.
All in all, not a bad first day.
Yup. Yup, now. Well, if you could like fence the goods, you would be able to progress in the Thieves Guild quest line.
I've got a nice nest, food to spare, and plenty of places to explore tomorrow.
There have been plenty of days in my life where I had none of those things. I unwrap one of the sandwiches that I grabbed and take a big bite.
Nothing beats the taste of hard work.
Not really hard work, you know. And well, definitely not honest work. I hope Wellington continues to treat me well while I'm here. Well, yeah, well, maybe.
So tired. I'm gonna sleep so well tonight.
I unpack everything that I got from the store, as well as the treasures that I always carry with me, my lockpick, my wallet, and a few pretty stones. The only thing that I leave in my jacket is a small scroll.
Can't get that damaged or dirty.
I change back into a fox and then dig another hole near the entrance to my den. This one is much simpler and shallower, and I bury some of the snacks that I stole before covering them back up with dirt.
Not like anyone's gonna come by and swipe my things, but better safe than sorry. I stole this myself after all.
Yep, you sure did.
Don't want it being stolen from me.
Well, would kind of teach you though how it feels. Stuff like my pen and my favorite rocks go into the barrel with me, since I like having them close by. Once I've got everything where it belongs, I climb into the hole myself, turning a few circles before sitting down with my tail wrapped around me. From here, I have a perfect view into the stars. I look up at the clear night sky through the mouth of the tunnel. I feel bad for all the people way down on the underworld.
Can they even see the stars from there?
I've never been to the underworld, so I have no idea. I can't imagine falling asleep without them. Comfortable and safe, I close my eyes and quickly slip off to dreamland. I wonder what she means with the underworld. I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of anything that would be like underworld-like. Exactly. Why would she think of hell though? Like how is it related? Like sure that is the obvious thing, but like I don't know. Why would she think of them? Ah, Oh, I see. Hmm, that's interesting. Yeah, definitely makes more sense than hell because I don't know why they care about people in hell. I wake up to trouble, or at least a threat. I'm sure it's only morning as I peer out the burrow's entrance, but the sky is already dark and foreboding. My attention moves from the ominous rain clouds above the trees outside my den, their branches shaking in the strong breeze.
I can't believe that girl from the cafe was right.
Well, that's what weather forecasts do. Don't need like any special abilities to watch the news. I climb up the tunnel and out into the open, sniffing the air. It just tells me what I already know. The storm is coming and fast. But also, another scent plays on my nose, one so faint that I almost brush it off before taking another smell. Surely I'm wrong. There's no way that. Lowering my snout to the ground, I investigate the area and then decide that I'm right. I change in my human form and look around.
Someone's been here.
Yes, someone's definitely been here, but this scent isn't a human's. It's vaguely familiar, but at the same time, not like anything I recognize. You know, maybe the bat could have been a vampire.
And it definitely wasn't here when I went to sleep.
They must have come here in the night and stopped right outside my den.
Were they watching me sleep?
Well, that is kind of lewd. Spying on somebody sleeping.
Oh crap!
As a fox, I dive back into my hole to make sure everything is still there. My heart pounds in my chest, but nothing appears to be missing. I also checked the spot where I buried my stash from last night, but that hasn't been disturbed either. I breathed a sigh of relief. If any of my stuff hasn't been stolen, if any of my stuff had been stolen, I'd be so mad. But that still doesn't answer the question what they did want. And that's even more concerning. I'm a pretty light sleeper, and usually the slightest sound of motion will wake me up. So if someone was able to sneak up on me, even I have to be impressed. Impressed and a little bit worried. I've got a more pressing issue right now, though, and I stare up at the sky in disappointment.
Ugh, I hate the rain.
I don't hate rain, unless, well, I need to be outside and I don't have an umbrella. Then I hate it, but if I can be inside, it is kind of nice and soothing. I would have found a different place to make my nest and hide my supplies if I'd known this would happen. Instead, both burrows will probably just be piles of mud by the end of today. I could have listened for the weather forecast.
I should have found a place with a roof after all.
I fill my pockets with my most important possessions and some of the food I grabbed last night. Everything else I wrap as tightly in the plastic bags as I can and bury them in my den. Hopefully I can find somewhere fast and then move everything else over before it gets ruined. An abandoned house would be perfect. Some other place where I'd be able to hide. After finishing packing up, I'm just about to get going when a loud flapping sound overhead catches my attention. I expect it to be a bird, but instead it's yet another bat. Okay, how the vampire is coming, I guess. This one is even bigger than the one I saw last night. Its wings are way longer and noisier. I can even hear it squeaking something as it flies past. Some people say bats are foxes. Bats and foxes are similar. I think there is like a bat that is called like a flying fox or something like that. And maybe they are kind of similar. I don't see it. I watch it fly around for a little while before it takes off toward the city.
Maybe it knows somewhere to stay. Guess I'll follow it for now.
Yeah, sure. A couple of times it disappears between the trees or just too far ahead, but I always manage to catch back up. Eventually, we are out of the woods and back into the civilization, where a car whizzes right past me. There's a sidewalk here, and other people walking around. Well, yeah, that's how it usually is. Though, well, like at this point, like the biggest threat is just her getting drenched by the rain, so don't really need the product power to counter that. You know, could just go like there or here or something and it should be fine. Then munch the goodies in the bags that you stole. Most of them look up to the sky nervously, though, and everyone seems to be in a hurry.
Guess I'm not the only one looking to get away from the rain.
More people seem to be going in the direction I was headed than anywhere else, so I stick to that. By now, my winged kite is almost out of sight again. Just a little black speck in the sky flying into the distance. Farther up this road, there's a slope that leads to a big, fancy-looking building. It doesn't look like a shop or a restaurant, at least not one that I have ever seen, but there are so many people going in and out and it has to be open to the public. That's good enough for me. It will give me somewhere dry to sleep, to spend some time, and maybe I can learn something useful. Plus, places like this usually have plenty of valuables inside. If I'm lucky, I might be able to find something to fund my next few days. After all, the bigger the target, the less likely they are to notice something's missing. Well, it depends, like trying to rob a bank might be pretty tricky without magic. The sturdy oak door isn't as heavy as it looks, a firm push being enough to heave it open, gingerly stepping inside and out of the rain and greeted by books. A lot of books. Books on shelves, books on tables, books on the floor, books everywhere. The place even smells of musty old paper, and dozens of or so people inside are mostly living through places in the aisles. The odd silence about the building is striking, given how many are around. It doesn't look like a shop, so I assume this must be a library. I haven't heard of them, but I have never been in one. No point, since I can't read at all. But it's warm and cozy and very dry, so it will do just fine. Now you could, like, I don't know, look at children's books or something. There's a desk near the entrance with a computer on it that I assume would be where I check in. It's unattended, which is good for me. I take a seat in an empty chair nearby and sit back just to observe for a bit. There are plenty of people, but it's not too busy. Lots of empty, unwatched places. Most folks seem to be here alone or in small groups that keep to themselves. There's not much conversation going on, and what there is all whispered. Nobody gives me a second glance, which is a good sign. It means I'm probably not breaking any rules just by being here. Behind the desk there's a hallway leading deeper into the building, and I peek around the corner to see what's back there. All I can see are some shut doors, and at the very back a staircase. After glancing around to make sure no one's watching, I sneak down the hall, try a couple of the doors. All of them are locked. I could probably pick them if I wanted to. No sense trying to do that now though. Yeah, kind of like Oblivion or Morrowind brain, like there's a locked door, so I got to pick it open even if there might be nothing there. Is there anything more valuable around? An antique clock or vase would be perfect. Sadly, it's almost all books. Books and small trinkets that look pretty worthless, not even worth the trouble of stealing. At least it's got a roof. I do spot a couple promising items, like a set of old coins. I memorized their locations. I wander back to the main area where I came in. Outside, it hasn't started raining yet, but it's only a matter of time. The wind is loud and gusty, and even opening the door is enough to make me shiver. If nothing else, I can probably wait out the rain here. My poor abandoned snacks back at the den, what a waste. Can't do anything about it now though. I should keep looking around. That would have been like a better idea to take them with you anyway. Like even like if you can't go to the library, but there is some kind of a roof somewhere where you can stay and eat them. I move slowly through the area, never going beyond what seems to be the public area. I pretend to inspect a few books, taking them off the shelves and flipping through the pages, but I'm actually mapping out the place in my head. Doors, windows and potential places to hide. things like that. Most of the time, this kind of info is unnecessary. It's been at least a few decades since I had to make a dramatic escape from anywhere. At this point, plotting an escape route is just a habit. If she's like that old, it's kind of like, well, you know, probably she would have had time to learn to read or stuff like that. So like, it's like a pretty long career as a thief, I guess. Overall, I like what I'm seeing. Even with locked doors and off limits hallways, there are a lot of nooks and crannies that would make good hiding spots, especially for bugs. From the thick dust that coats a lot of these areas, I can tell they don't get a whole lot of visitors. If I'm careful, I might be able to go a whole week or more without being noticed. As long as I can get in and out of the building easily, that is, and with the huge windows that line the back wall, that seems easy enough too. I weave around a couple cells that are taller than I am. Heading for the far back corner, I peer around the corner of the last L just to make sure I'm alone, but I'm not. Oh, it's actually somebody finally. At a small table by the window sits a woman with a small book in her hand, resting against her fingers. She's perfectly still, but mouths the words on the page as she reads, like she's tasting them instead of just seeing them. Her expression has the distant look of someone way off in her own world, far afar from this one. She looks so at peace that I think she must belong in that other world. She's beautiful and elegant in the same way as a painting, with the light from the window shining on her like a display. I duck back behind the bookshelf. I duck back behind the bookshelf, pressing one hand to my racing heart. My other bumps against one of the books on the shelf, and it falls with a dusty thump. Cursing my clumsiness, I suddenly back away in case she decides to investigate, but she doesn't leave her chair.
I suppose it's nothing.
She turns and gazes out the open window at what? I don't know. A moment later, she returns to her book and leaves this world again. I stay hidden, my face still burning a little bit. Yes, I think this will be the perfect place to spend some time. Suddenly there's a much louder boom than the one I caused as thunder rumbles outside. A few people around the library startle at the sound and look around. Sighing, the girl in the chair pulls the window beside her closed. The first drops of rain falling not a minute later. I'll investigate the windows later. Right now, I don't want to bother her. So I head back to one of the plus chairs on the other side of the library and take a seat. I could be here a while, depending on how long the rain lasts, so I may as well get comfy. I find a few books that have more pictures than words and curl up in one of the soft chairs to flip through them. There aren't as many of those ones, and I go through the stack pretty fast. It takes long enough for the rain to start though. The longer I read, the louder the powering of the rain and the howling of the wind becomes. Guess it's not letting up anytime soon. I can't complain though. This library is pretty cozy by my usual standards. It's warm and safe and nobody tells me to go away. I even have snacks. More than once, I get up and walk around the library again, even though I have got most of it memorized by now. I take note of things like a child's stuffed toy that's lying on the floor in one section, or the thin blanket that's stuffed between a bookshelf and the wall. On my third or fourth trip around, I finally find something I'd been looking for. In one of the far corners, totally opposite from where I saw the reading girl earlier, there's a single chair and small table. On the wall nearby is a portrait. The painting itself is a girl with light brown hair, but I barely pay any attention to that. What I'm interested in is the frame. It's lovely. It looks like it might be made out of gold. It certainly shines like it. It's carved intricately into the shape of waves flowing up and down. It's gotta be worth something. I pretend to not pay much attention to it as I make my way back to my table. There are too many other people around for me to be able to try to sneak it out. It's too big to fit under my jacket without being obvious. Yeah, I don't think it's like easy to steal it and to convert it to money. But yeah, I was like, she's like the painting is nice or something, but no, she's just like thinking of stealing it. That just means I'll have to come back some other time, maybe once this place is closed. The hours pass by and the storm continues. I'm kind of disappointed about losing a whole day, especially so soon after arriving. But it's not like I'm in any sort of a hurry. I pat one of my pockets, feeling the familiar and reassuring weight of the paper scroll that's tucked away there. That scroll is the only thing close to a purpose that I have, and it's not particularly urgent. Or at least, I don't have any way to deal with it faster. I spend a long time reading. It's almost afternoon when I go and check the windows again. But the rough weather outside continues. At this rate, I'll be sleeping in a puddle of mud tonight, unless... Well, this is kind of getting like rough on my voice because well, I have been having a little bit of flu, but well, it's way more reading than I expected. So well, I don't know like how much longer the demo is, but maybe I might call it a day here, even though well, I haven't even seen more than one of the characters, but I think it's already like 2 hours of streaming, and I think I should try to make the streams a little bit shorter. Well, the impression so far. Well, the art is definitely like really good, and I'm sure like when it gets to the point where the characters are there and like potential romance options like that, I'm sure like the art will be able to shine. But yeah, for me like I haven't been paying that much attention to the art because well reading things, I kind of feel that the game would really have benefited from the narration being voiced. Like the characters being voiced is nice, but so far like there hasn't been a whole lot. But maybe it changes later, so maybe it's fine. But yeah, it might be like a ton of reading, so yeah, would be pretty expensive for an indie game to get like all the narration like voiced. So kind of would be unfair to complain about that. But yeah, it is pretty high quality, and the premise seems pretty interesting. Although like the beginning is kind of slow in some ways, but I guess the point is to enjoy the mood, and the mood has been good so far, so no complaints there. But yeah, I guess that is it for today, more or less. Thank you for watching, and see you again next week.